We met a while ago with a number of released citizens. We hope they would go back to normal life. We are ready to offer any kind of assistance that would enable them to contribute in building their country for the good of their homeland.
We have released 225 people who were involved in the unrest and do not have blood on their hands. 4 days ago, we also released nearly 331 men. This is an ongoing process. We will continue until all those with similar cases are released.
Authorities freed prisoners in the capital Damascus and two cities of Aleppo and Homs. Officials say those released did not commit any serious crime or act of violence. Meanwhile, clashes have been reported on the outskirts of the western city of Hama. Government forces say they have killed several armed terrorists, and we're also hearing that a bomb has exploded near a mosque in the same city with no report of fatalities. Clashes have also been reported in parts of the northern city of Aleppo, where insurgents have also suffered heavy losses. This as reports say the terrorists have killed members of a family of 5 in Aleppo. Meanwhile, Syrian expats are becoming increasingly vocal against the Canadian media. They say the country's mass media is misinforming Canadians on what's going on in Syria and are legitimizing the armed gangs there. Joshua Blakeney has the story.
Reports show that media venues such as the CBC have been zealous cheerleaders for Canada's wars of aggression that have nominally been waged to extirpate alleged extremist, terrorist groups from countries such as Afghanistan. The CBC claims to be on the fence in its reports, but Syrian expats accuse the CBC and like-minded media venues of lending credence to such terrorist groups, who Damascus accuses of destabilizing Syria at the behest of Israel and other hegemonic countries. Syrians who oppose the destruction of their country accuse Canada's public broadcaster of lacking impartiality in its reportage on Syria. They say that the majority of Syrians support the Syrian government, and yet the CBC has been one-sided, legitimating and amplifying the perspective of supporters of the foreign-backed militant groups that have been killing the ordinary Syrian people.
The same people that you are expecting that did September 11 are fighting the people in Syria. They are the same, and you're supporting them, which doesn't really make any sense. That just proves that September 11 was a big joke. It was a big lie.
This is what one Syrian in Calgary, who for fear of retribution against his family from the armed gangs in Syria cannot appear on camera, had to say on a recent CBC radio show.
The news coverage so far has been, in my opinion, biased. I listen to many CBC programs, and I hear, for example, 3 guests that are against the regime and then 1 guest who is pro-regime, or bias that is a little bit subtle, but it's there.
There are numerous Syrians in Canada echoing the sentiments of that recent CBC guest.
The media in Canada, they don't give a clear picture. They are lying to the Canadian people.
Syrian sovereigntists say they hope that those Canadian journalists who are aiding and abetting what they call the Western-backed genocidal gangs in Syria will be put on trial one day. Joshua Blakeney, Press TV, Calgary.